what I have noticed so far is none of his shots seem really weak, but I don't think he wants to move so much. Like, I think the more I can move him, that might be my one chance.
So I'm paying just close attention right now. Are we consistent off both wings? If I pick on this backhand 4 or 5 balls in a row, do I get an error? Yep, there's one.
What's happening, guys? Back with Ian from Essential Tennis, and in the previous video we had Joel and Scott warm up, and we all did analysis about what we found in their warm up, what their strengths were, what their weaknesses were.
Which we don't know about yet.
We don't. We haven't revealed them.
Yeah.
All right. So through this, they're going to play a set. You'll be coaching Joel.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you guys have some strategy.
Yeah. And you'll coach Scott.
And I'll be coaching Scott, and we've got a little strategy as well.
Sweet. So let's get right into it.
Yeah, let's get it.
So when I was warming up with Scott, I didn't see any glaring weaknesses, although I did notice a few things. It seemed to me he doesn't want to move so much, so if I can move him side to side, wear him out, and maybe just get some short shots because he doesn't want to move, that would be one strategy. I also noticed that his backhand, although he hits a nice backhand, it tends to fall short, so if he gets one deep, be ready to come in and maybe do something with it. Those were the two things that really stood out to me as maybe a way to get him. The third thing is that his second serve seems a little uncomfortable. I might position myself in a very strange place just to kind of screw with his mind, because I do know technically he's a better player than me, and so maybe a little gamesmanship there just to get him out of his element.
All right, so I have three main thoughts for you. Number one, you have nothing to lose. You're the underdog. There's no pressure, like
That's actually great to hear.
Externally, like from anybody. There's no expectation at all. Can you
Thank you.
accept that?
Yeah, no, I actually appreciate hearing that, because it relieves some of the pressure of having to play someone who has, does this for a living and played college.
Yeah. And then I had kind of two tactical thoughts. Plan A for me was very close to what you said. He's a kind of counterpuncher style. He likes pace and he likes sending it back. If you go a little bit higher, loopier, spinnier, and kind of force him to be the offensive player and kind of test his fitness a little bit, to me, I think your plan A. And then plan B is, if that's not working and he's just taking charge and like taking you to the woodshed, then we go offense, and just swing out and just kind of go for it and practice your like confidence under pressure.
Right.
Even though there is no pressure.
Okay.
That was a trick. Did you fall for it?
Well, what I heard was practice, and in practice I love to hit hard. In the match play, I tend to be tentative, so I'll just play this like I'm playing practice, and if it goes out, the expectation, like you said, wasn't really there anyway.
So plan A is what?
Plan A is high, loopy, deep, force the counterpuncher to play offense, and see if I can wear him out and maybe come in and put a ball away. Plan B is remind me.
Just go for it.
Just go for it. If that's not working, right, just go for it and be loose, hit hard.
All right, I'm excited.
So am I, man.
Good luck. Yeah, have fun.
Let's talk about this matchup. So, I mean, it is all going to be about shot tolerance, right? Like, I think you immediately spotted the backhand. Like, what would you say? Like,
So when I said in my confessional in the last video is I knew coming out here I'm a 5-0 and he's a 4-0, 4-5. So like my expectation is, not to sound arrogant, but every shot in the arsenal should be a little bit stronger unless he's really overdeveloped in some area. And that was all confirmed in the warm-up. Like I think in any cross-court rally, I'm going to be very happy. I think in a cross-court backhand rally, I'm going to be really happy. I think if I can put pressure on that forehand and open up the backhand, I think there's a lot of ways to sort of pick this apart. But where I'm going to start is just strong cross-court ground strokes and see if that doesn't get the job done. Like I'm not sure I have to take any risk.
That's what I was going to say, yeah. My assessment was just shot tolerance, right? Like as far as we have what should be a heavyweight jab against a middleweight jab. Yeah. No reason to take a ton of risk here, and see if he can redline, see if he can force the action to where he forces you to do something a little bit more by playing out of a level that he's comfortable at. All right, shall we? Let's get into it.
Anytime I get to do commentary with a new person, it's a special occasion.
It is, man. I feel like we need to. They're just starting right off into the aggressive play.
Going right into offense. Interesting.
I like that because the one thing I told Scott, I was like, just hit with him for the first few games, test the shot tolerance. And he's like, nope, attacking.
Really?
Yeah.
And, well, our game plan was to just play kind of slow ball it and see if he wouldn't do that. And also see if he gets tired.
So, and honestly, I think if I was coaching Joel, that's what I would have said. It's like, don't play out of your comfort zone.
Because Joel's not going to hit him off the court.
No.
Like, even on his best day. And so that's why I was like, we might as well try. Like, just tee it up for him, let him swing at it.
Yeah. Well, and then like a little bit of the weird like off pace, like
right.
if he's waiting for the ball and not moving his feet,
right,
like,
right.
I think that would be and maybe get a little scoreboard pressure. It's like get a game, get a little scoreboard pressure.
But unfortunately, so far Joel's kind of leaving everything short. And I think that's really key. Like hitting slow, spinny is one thing, but if it's inside the service line, like that I don't mind at all. If you can just keep it pinned back, but that's going to be trouble.
So we were talking as far as like targeting. It's like not just the backhand. Like the backhand's a little bit obvious, but like the trajectory, like depth, pushing them deep, pulling them short. So like there, Scott goes short in the court, and it like he can move up to it. Like I think that's going to be a part that.
So their strategy, or Scott's strategy out of the gate was just go hard, like offense right away. which is kind of like the opposite.
Well, what I was going to say is that I didn't have a chance even to implement changing directions. I mean, I'm proud of myself that I got 3 out of 4 serves back against him, but it was survival mode. There wasn't much chance to do anything.
So personally, I say just stick with the first plan out of the gate, but we need to put a premium on depth. If anything lands even close to the service line at the pace you're hitting right now, he's just gonna smother, everything. Yeah. And I heard you make a comment during the initial warm-up about how comfortable he looks at the net. It's gonna be tough to like hit passing shots past him. Okay. So same like plan A, but let's just really put a premium on height and depth.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah,
right.
Totally.
All right, so first game was not awful.
Yeah, man, I think the plan, it seems like he's overwhelmed by just the power in general, right? So, like, through some very basic, like, bigger slice serves out wide and at the tee, immediately on offense, put the pressure on coming into net, getting immediate, easy put-away volleys.
Yep.
There's not much stress on me yet, so definitely no change in game plan. Just really keep putting the ball in play at my normal pace and see if
he's going to keep giving you short balls. There's not anything to adapt to.
Right.
So, but who's going to adapt? It's got Westerman over there. He's going to adapt.
Hopefully we'll see a change on his end, but if not, my plan is just keep hitting the ball across court and let him beat himself.
Yeah, sounds right.
Let's get it.
I like that I'm holding the mic up like a weirdo.
That's good. Scott actually likes that pace.
Yeah. As I was saying before, I was like, if he tries to hit with him, like Scott wants all this to be like really fast ping pong.
Yeah.
It's his tempo.
Yeah.
It's like if you can get ping pong to where it's like, bounce, hit, bounce, hit, then there can be a tempo change. But as long as it's like bounce, hit, bounce, hit, bounce, hit, he's playing Scott's game.
Joel, all of a sudden, his tempo is like doubled. And he's trying to like out-hit Scott.
It's a good serve.
No golden set. All right.
Yeah.
Is that the first
point?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
He's got some firepower on the serve.
He does, yeah. That's a great
motion.
motion. That's just tough. I get the very strong sense at this point that Scott's just kind of feeling good right now, and he's trying to win as many points as he can. He doesn't care about making it close. He's just trying to rack up the... what do they call it in the sports when you run up the scoreboard?
Yeah, he's running up the scoreboard for sure. And unfortunately, Joel's serve has some pace on it, but I would say one of the best parts of Scott's game is actually his return.
Yeah. And it's good pace for a 4-0.
It is. Yeah.
But like good pace for a 4-0 is basically right in the comfort zone of Scott.
Right. He's got to move him. He's got to move him. Pitch outside of the box and get him moving.
Yeah.
I'm I'm interested to see what happens though. Like, if one of these games get close, if there's some weird scoreboard pressure,
Does Scott commit to the offense, or does he start to take his foot off of the gas a little bit?
I think he's going to be pretty offensive, is my guess.
No, I mean if it gets close. You think he'll stick with it?
I think he'll steady out the pattern and wait. He'll be more patient with it. But as long as he's feeling good, he's going to keep swinging the ball.
He's just taking it to him.
Wheels. It's good wheels though, Joel.
I just kind of get the feeling Scott's enjoying this at this point.
He doesn't even care about the contest. He's just like,
no, I'm gonna just strangle Joel to death right now. That's what he's thinking. Slowly.
If he dies, he dies. But it didn't need to be that big. I mean, it's going to hit that 50%.
To me, that just confirms my suspicion that he's just kind of trying to throw a little bit of sass down, you know?
Yeah. Don't hit the camera.
Because, he knows he didn't need... he probably could hit that half that speed. Yeah.
Good backhand. Good backhand. Let's go, Scott.
Get some. Is that 30-40 or 40-30?
I think so. I think he called 40-30. That would have been a smart shot, though. We'll slice to you. That would have been smart. That's tough.
Get over it.
That's tough.
So the problem here is he's an absorber. Like he feeds on pace. So the couple of shots that you've really kind of swung at and teed up on, I don't know if you get a sense of it, but he's almost more comfortable when you feed him pace. So we need to come up with some kind of, like, we either need to go really outside the box and kind of give him really non-conventional,
I think height, like almost like moon balls. Like,
okay,
let's just see what happens when he gets a moon ball deep.
Yeah.
If I can do that, maybe it'll throw off his timing. But he's such a strong player that my returning his forehand to his backhand is just not screwing him up. And I'm scrambling. I'm totally out of control.
Do you see that the harder you hit, the more like defensive you are in the next shot?
Totally, because I hit hard and the ball's actually back quicker, and I'm now on my heels, and I chip it back. If it goes over, he puts it away with these amazing volleys that are parallel to the net. So I just want to say his serve also, I'm seeing things I don't see normally at my level. These kicks that come up and
bounces the opposite direction you're thinking.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Okay,
So
height and depth.
Yeah, height and depth. The first opportunity I have.
I feel like that's what we said during the last changeover, but then you got into the game and everything started coming low and hard.
Because when you get into the match, you can sometimes just fall into your patterns. But if we can just make it, not even plan A, the mission. The mission is height and depth. And if I lose by that sword, I do.
Okay. And I feel like you hit the topspin so well on the forehands. Like, let's make it like a really spinny, like, moonball. But if you kind of like halfway, if you go halfway and just kind of like push it, it's not really gonna do what it needs to do to keep him thinking about it. You know what I'm saying?
Totally fair.
So you
gotta
gotta
be tentative on it.
Right, exactly. You gotta go for it, even if it is a moonball.
Fine.
All right, so I think game plan here just stays exactly the same, right? Like he's clearly uncomfortable. My ball is doing damage. I'm seeing a lot of short balls. I don't need to do anything different. Like, I think a lot of times this would be where maybe you would try and get more creative, like just stick with what's working,
win a
right?
different way,
Right, like just stay the course, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's more, keep pouring more and more and more. I mean, and this is, to your point about, like, trying not to get creative, what we want here is, like, Joel getting creative. Make it easier for you by going for more and making more errors. He's actually lengthening some of the points. You know, that's, like, maybe he goes
He's
for
got to
more.
give me a reason to change strategy, right?
Exactly. Right now we don't have one.
What I will say is it's going to be extremely important that I maintain focus. I think a lot of times, like for me, especially when I go up big, when I have a 3-0 lead, that could be where like my mind would start to wander. So I need to just double down on staying focused here and making sure like stick with the game plan and make sure the mind doesn't wander. Even in that last game, that loose miss on the approach shot, like those can't start to creep in.
Yeah, you went pretty big there.
Yeah.
Unnecessarily.
Yeah, unnecessarily big. All right, stay the course.
But I mean, Scott's only made one unforced. Oh,
You put it in the universe.
I'm gonna say that more often.
You ask and you shall receive.
I just doubled his errors with one comment.
I like he hasn't made an error and then it was like an egregious error because you
If I
were like, he
wasn't-
hasn't.
Scott is so consistent. Let's go.